Slavia Prague, big in terms of scoreline, but for us at the moment, keeping those clean sheets has been so impressive. That run now goes back to a record that was set in 1903. Tottenham Hotspur with a big win at home as well, 4-0 over FC Copenhagen. And you can see Bayern Munich are the team out of PSG and themselves to keep their 100% record going, coming out 2-1 winners there. 3 English sides are in action tomorrow. Chelsea get things started when they travel to Azerbaijan to face Karabag in the early kickoff. Later that evening, Manchester City host Borussia Dortmund and Newcastle United take on Athletic Bilbao. Let's have a quick look at the table with 4 match days done out of half of the teams there. You can see the English sides who've played those 4 sitting in a very good position indeed. And those who've yet to play this week also looking very good. 11 points pretty much got you through the knockout phase last time round. Okay, let's hear then, shall we now, from the man who gave Liverpool the victory. Alexis McAllister is with Gabriel Clark.
Alexis, well done. Another goal against Real Madrid, this time the winner. How do you sum up your night?
Well, thank you very much. I think it was a good game against a really good team. Important win, but we know that it doesn't mean anything because we have the experience of last season where we finished first in the first zone, and after we were out quite early. So we need to keep on going. I think it's important to build confidence. So it's a good day.
Is that your first headed goal for Liverpool?
I think it is. I'm not sure. I remember one against Wolverhampton, I think. So I don't think it's the first one, but definitely one of the most special ones.
What a delivery from Dominic.
Yeah, it was really good. Normally I'm the one that blocks for Hugo, but at that time I blocked and I saw the space, so it was a good ball from Dom. I just had to head it.
Were you starting to worry, though, that Thibaut Courtois was having one of those fantastic, unbeatable nights?
Yeah, it looked like, to be honest. He's a fantastic keeper, we all know. He had a few saves. So, again, I think he's a really good keeper. But today, I think we were better and we deserve to win.
And what have you got back? Do you feel this could be a lift-off moment in a way? It's been hard. It's been a little bit hard for you to find your rhythm. So what can tonight, a win over Real Madrid, represent?
Yeah, I always try to think about the team, not about me. It's true that maybe it wasn't the beginning that I wanted. It was a little bit hard for me, but now I'm getting in the rhythm. I just wanted to play some games in a row, so I'm happy that I had the possibility to play against Villa against today. So I'm really happy with it.
Match winner, goal scorer, and player of the match too. Well done.
Well, Alexis McAllister with a big smile on his face, and I'm sure those smiles are echoed in the Liverpool dressing room. Put into context for us what this result actually means. Beating Real Madrid is one thing, but for Liverpool at this point in the season and how they did it.
I think they were brilliant tonight, Liverpool. I think for what it means for the club, I think we know they've had a tough start. I mean, there was murmurs of the old Liverpool against Villa on the weekend, but tonight I thought they were brilliant, each to a man. You know, obviously Alexis McAllister's got man of the match. I mean, I give a huge mention to obviously Ekitike. I thought he was fantastic, and Conor Bradley. I mean, wow, he put in an unbelievable performance. In fact, if Vinicius Junior gets to his bedroom tonight, I'll be amazed because I think Conor Bradley might be stopping him from getting in there. But I think it just shows Liverpool. I think the confidence was there, and I think it stems from the weekend's performance as well. So it puts them in good stead now going into the City game the weekend.
Yeah, and this Real Madrid side have had their second best ever start to a season, and out of 19 games this season, it's only 3 times now that Kylian Mbappe has failed to score, which puts into context the great defensive performance.
Yeah, it does, and I said before the game that this place does strange things here and makes it very difficult if the crowds are up for it. And he was, and that showed on the pitch through the players. And you know, I thought Real Madrid were poor. I thought they lacked intensity, they lacked ideas. They didn't move the ball quick enough. They didn't really create any chances at goal. But you'd have to give credit to Liverpool because the way they come out to approach the game, and for 90 minutes as well, they played really well first half, but they carried it on second half and got the win. As you said before, it looked like they weren't going to get past Courtois, but they got the goal and they deserved the win massively. So I think full credit to Liverpool tonight.
Yeah, Courtois, Real Madrid's best player tonight.
He was, and you know, when you're asking your goalkeeper to do his job basically, which we had to do tonight, and I'll just be disappointed with Real Madrid. The amount of attacking threat they have in that, that pitch, they should be doing better. They should be. And I think it's an element of when you see other players from different leagues come into the intensity of the Premier League, should we call it, because it kind of was that tonight, under the lights at Anfield. It's so hard for these players to adapt. And they always tend to try and go through the games, the motions. It felt like that at stages of the game. And for me, Real Madrid were probably happy with the draw going into the game. But look, they didn't deserve anything out of that game today. Liverpool were fantastic. It's nice to see Liverpool really performing at the levels that we expect them to be. And I was pleased with Wirtz tonight. I was really pleased with his work rate, because I was trying to speak about that before the game, and just to say that's the part he needs to change. And I felt he did that tonight. I really
What
did.
pleased you most, Dan?
I think overall, as a team, I think it meant more to Liverpool tonight. Given how things have gone so far this season, it was a big game, it was a big moment for the team, and I think everyone stepped up collectively. Szoboszlai was fantastic. The guys have mentioned all the individuals, Conor Bradley, Wirtz, this, that and the third. There's so many different guys we can say superlatives about. I think all in all, Real Madrid underwhelmed everybody. And I think we probably expected a better performance from them, which would have been a much more difficult game for Liverpool. But I think in the end, they managed the game very well. We're looking at Virg coming and talk to us now, and we'll hear what he has to say. But what a game we did watch tonight.
Yeah, Virgil van Dijk is coming down to have a chat with us behind the desk. And I'm sure he'll be pleased at the performance he's seen from the men around him this evening, because not only is that a performance that Liverpool will hopefully build on for their sake, and they built on the weekend, but also 3 wins out of 4 in the Champions League so far this season as well.
Yeah, I think they've had obviously a tremendous start in that.
Hey Virgil, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think they've had a great start to that. I mean, obviously a little bit of a blip against Galatasaray, against Frankfurt. They showed the mettle, they showed what it meant to them. And then obviously they had a little bit of a bad result after that, but they've gone from strength to strength now, so yeah. Great.
Robbie's saying you've gone from strength to strength. That win at the weekend over Aston Villa was very important. Building on that tonight.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of energy, a lot of hard work within the performance today. I think I think they won 14 in the last 15. They have a lot of quality. We all know that. We know their strengths. We know how they can punish you. We've seen it in recent weeks. So we had to be spot on in everything we do. And at times you come in a low block, and that's something that we had to accept. And I think we performed our game plan perfectly.
You've been on a disappointing run before that game at the weekend. And we know after the Manchester United game, you took the players together and tried to kind of find out maybe, I don't know, you tell us what was going on. How important was that meeting, do you think, and how things have changed since then?
It's easy to say now because we won twice in a row that it helped pretty well. But I think in a world of chaos, you have to try and stay calm and take the perspective of things. At that meeting, the time was October. So many football to be played, so many twists and turns that can happen. And I think at times the noise was a lot.
You looking at anybody around here in particular?
I'm not at all. But listen, I think it's very important to put things in perspective. Keep your head down, work, and get out of the situation, because quality we have. That's not the issue. It's about keep working and keep going.
Does the outside noise affect you, Virg, or are you just happy plodding along to do what you need to do and trying to put people right?
I think all of you know here that you're dealing with obviously a squad of 25 players, a lot of young players, a couple older players like myself, and everyone lives a different life. So I can say, like, for me personally, like, it doesn't affect me, but obviously I'm dealing as a captain with players that might be affected about it. So you have to...
Has the criticism and some of it been fair, do you think?
Of course, if you lose a game as a Liverpool player 4 or 5 in a row, then there's a fair criticism. That is absolutely normal in that sense. But I think it's over the top at times as well at that point. But listen, that's because we live in a world that with so many platforms, so many people can say stuff and will be picked up and made bigger than what else. But I think it's good that especially ex-players that play at the highest level, played at the top, that dealt with difficult moments as well, to put also a lot of things in perspective, I think.
I'm not saying it no more, because I think I've spared them on. I think we've put them on a winning streak. But no, I think when you win the Premier League, and I think what I've said, it was fair, when you win the Premier League and then you go on a run where you lose 3-4 games in a row, which you don't expect from Liverpool over the last few years. And then as Virgil as you as the captain, I think that's your opportunity then to go and lead the players in. And that's what I was saying. I think that happens in football. I think the response has been great from Virgil, from the team. So.
I think if you would watch games, then I would definitely take the responsibility. I think the comment about that I signed my new deal, and then it's like, that's it, and I'll let it slide. I think that was a bit, but that's my personal opinion.
But do you use things like that? Does that fire you up?
I want to perform for the team, for the club, for each and every one that will support us through thick and thin. And when we go through a tough time as a team, when we lose in games, that obviously unfortunate that didn't happen too many times, then it hurts me so much. And I want to turn this around. And because I also see the hard work we put in each and every day, I see the quality that we have. And
can we talk specifically about defence, because that's back-to-back clean sheets and 10 games before
After
that.
forever,
yeah. Didn't achieve that.
No,
so a great performance from Conor Bradley tonight as
Fantastic.
well. How much does that please you?
Well, I think that's the basis of hopefully success. I think you can see at the moment Arsenal is flying, and it's down to obviously having that basis of clean sheets, not conceding chances. And I think that's what we had as well. And that's what we're trying to find back. Consistency, start with defending. We have the quality to hurt anyone in possession, on the break. It starts with defending, how much you put in. And today you saw the hard work. We saw it as well against Villa. We didn't create too many open chances back then, but we managed to find a win. And we have to keep going, and Sunday is going to be another difficult one. And we have to be ready for that as well.
Perfect platform, though, that you've given yourselves of Saturday and tonight, heading to the Etihad.
Yeah, but we all know how football works. It can change overnight, but we focus now on recovery. It sounds boring, but it is what it is. We recover tomorrow, we're back at it, and then full focus will be on a tough one against a very informed striker as well, like tonight.
Virg, did you get any opportunity to see Trent before the game? There was a lot of talk of the conditions he would have coped tonight. Have you managed to see him, or are you going to get a chance to see him?
No.
Virg, talking about the new signings that have come into the club, played many big games so far, moments like tonight, what sort of feeling will that give them, considering all the noise we're talking about?
I think massive. I think it's about for them, just show what you've been doing, already for all those years. Florian started today on the left wing, and obviously it's difficult for a defender already to have a player in front of you that will go anywhere. So he played outstanding also in defending. I think he was outstanding. Hugo is a handful. He keeps running, keeps going, and runs in behind in his feet. Technical, very good. Georgie, obviously, in absence of Ali. It's just keep going, find your way into the team, and whenever you play, be important. And if you're not, then be important off the pitch. And I think the players have settled in my eyes, perfectly. Maybe you have to ask them yourself, but I think in my eyes, perfectly. But obviously, we all get judged what you do on the pitch. And step by step, we'll get there.
I think one disappointment from me, but I think you could have won the game by a lot more goals tonight.
I think we have a goalkeeper.
Would you see that as a disappointment? But you should have scored 3 or 4 more goals.
Sometimes you have to hold your hand up, and Courtois was...
You're happy with 1-0, but I think...
Yeah, well, you can make it easier, but you have a goalkeeper against you. That was outstanding, and I think it gave me a bit of a feeling that we had in Paris when we lost the final as well. But he was outstanding today again, and but we found a way, and now we move on.
Good, Mum.
Sadly, we're being asked to let you go, but thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
And chatting,
You're very welcome.
Best of luck for the rest of the week.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Virgil. I think it's all good. I think it's a truce there. I'd call that, wouldn't you? I think he could probably come on your podcast. Huh?
I think Virgil had him on the ropes.
I know, he had him on the ropes. He was trying to. But you know what? I think what's really refreshing is, he didn't have to come up here. He's come up here and faced it. It's obviously a lot easier when you win. I thought he was really good tonight. And what I was trying to say to him there is, we know the standards that he's set, and when you win the Premier League, the hardest thing then is to go on and do it again. And he'll tell you himself, he don't think he's been at his best this season, but over the last couple of games, he's getting back to that. And when he's at his best, he's one of the best in the world.
Almost as well by admission, saying, you can say that kind of coming together meeting after United's defeat, the defeat to United, has worked. But actually, by saying that, what they're saying is actually they did need somehow to come together. There was a need for that moment.
There is. There's always an element of players being able to talk in a safe environment away from the manager, because there'll be some truths that are said that don't really want to get to the manager or the staff.
We had a few at Everton, didn't we?
We did have a few, to be honest, which we can talk about another time, maybe in your pod at some point. However, I think you're safe. I think Virgil's probably going to come from me at some point. Didn't really like that, did he? But however, look, I really appreciate the man, the stature he is, the leader. I think it shows that he still cares. And I think when you get to a certain age in football as well, that's always questioned with certain players, like, do they still care? Do they still want to work hard? And he always does.
Do you think sometimes it takes, when you're winning so seemingly kind of easily as they did last year and everything worked so well, the wheels looked very well oiled, when you hit the skids a little bit and things don't go right, as a leader and somebody who's a bit more senior, you have to kind of wake up again and take that leadership by, grasp it, don't you? And become the leader that perhaps you initially were. Does that make sense?
I think he has been leading. I think the issue is that there are new signings. Like he said, he's talked about the new players that have come into the club. I can't question Virgil's leadership. I think he's a fantastic leader. I think they have other leaders on the football pitch that are growing into becoming leaders as well. I think that the point is that there are new players within the camp that have to take on the tactics and understand how the team plays. They've come from different systems and different this and that. And in some cases, a lot of players take that on board very fast and it looks seamless. And in other cases, it takes a while. So for me, I really appreciated what Virg said to us. He was open and honest, and gave his perspective, which I appreciate.
I think what I was kind of trying to say there, Robbie, is that actually quite enjoyed almost going, right, we're going to get this back on track now because we're better than this.
Yeah, and look, the club have needed it. The team have needed it, and obviously Virgil's needed it because obviously you're all together, you all want the results. And obviously a meeting has paid dividends.
Hello, Arne, how are you? Congratulations.
So a meeting has obviously paid dividends, and that's obviously what good teams do. They talk about things, what they can do right, what they've needed to do, and they've done that with the last two performances.
We've just had a... Oh, hello. We just...
We saw each other a while ago. That's what I was asking.
You two can catch up some other time. Maybe on Wayne's Pod. We've talked about that enough tonight, haven't we? Arne, congratulations. Great result tonight, building on the result from the weekend in what is a tricky week for you with the Etihad at the end of it as well. How pleased were you with the performance tonight as much as the result?
Yeah, very pleased. It's been tricky weeks for us. Many away games, hardly any rest in between every single game. And again, we only had 2 days in between a game, but the same was there for Real Madrid. And then it helps if you can play in front of these fans and you play against Madrid, because that brings the best, I think, out of my players and out of our fans. Great performance against a team that only lost once, I think, this season. And so, yeah, could have been a bit more maybe, but...
Robbie made that point to Virgil, who was giving all the praise to Courtois.
Now that is definitely true, yeah. Even in the first half, he had a few saves. I was standing in line. I'm like, that he makes those saves. And then, of course, in the second half, he made a few saves so close to him that makes him one of the best goalkeepers in the world.
And it's the first time that Real Madrid haven't scored since the Club World Cup semi-final against PSG. So in terms of your defence, and that's 2 clean sheets on the bounce now, that must also be very pleasing.
Yeah, I said before the game, they've scored 26 goals in La Liga. And Mbappé and Vinicius together have 24 goal contributions. So if you want to have any chance of winning this game, you have to make sure these two are not on the score sheet. And Connor was outstanding, but I think the whole team defended really well in the high press, in the low block. But to be so many times 1v1 against Vinicius is not for everyone that you can play a game like this. But he did outstanding today.
And was there more of a conscious effort from yourself and your staff to keep it tight at the back? Because I think with obviously Conor Bradley was brilliant, Andy Robbo was brilliant, but they never marauded as much as what we've seen in previous games. So you tell them to sit back a little bit and control the games.
I said to them, the only thing I don't want is a mid-block, because these two up front have deep runs, unbelievable timing and incredible pace, Vinicius and Mbappé. So we either press them really high or we're in a low block, but we will never give away the space. And in the few moments you do, take away that space, because 24 goal contributions from 26 goals tells you probably everything about these two.
And have you noticed a change in the mentality within the group over the last couple of games, clean sheets, or is that just the way it's happened?
If you want my honest answer, but that's a difficult one, standing next to someone from Manchester United. For me, the difference is the playing style of the teams we face. But then probably I get a lot of criticism again. But you cannot compare a game of football where the other team wants to bring the ball out from the back, then you play against a team that's either themselves in a low block and playing a direct style of football. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. And that's what we faced many times in the last 2 games. We faced a different playing style, and I think then you saw a similar playing style from us than we saw last season. But we have to make sure that against any playing style we face, we can win a game. But again, it's shown the importance of set pieces, because the most games we've lost, we've conceded far too much. If we would have done just as good in the Premier League as in the Champions League, we scored 4 now from set pieces. If we would have done the same in the Premier League, we would have been on much more points than we are now. But we scored 0 in the Premier League and conceded 5. It's difficult to win, to pick up many points if that is your balance in the league. But balance in the Champions League is incredible. With
What do you put that down to in the league?
Unlucky, mainly, because if you look at the amount of chances we've conceded from set pieces, that's not even that much, and the chances we've created in the games we've played from set pieces, also in the Premier League, have been really high. So I think we've mainly been unlucky in that department. But yeah.
In a league where more goals are being scored than ever before from set pieces.
Yeah. That's a lot. Yeah.
Arne, I wanted to just ask you about Wirtz tonight. Obviously, you found it difficult to adapt to the Premier League at this moment in time. However, the confidence to bring him into a game so important tonight. How did you feel his performance tonight was? It's a bit a different side of his. I think the work rate has been the biggest change for me.
I'm not too sure if it's only adapting to the Premier League. I think it's more adapting to playing 3 games in 7 days and only 2 days in between, and then go away to Brentford, which are really aggressive team, or other games he has played. So I think it's more a young player that needs to adapt to playing so many games in limited days every time against a very strong opponent, because almost in any league, other league apart from the Premier League, you will have 10 to 15 to 20 games that you probably can easily win. But here, you have none of them. And that is something you have to adapt to, I think. And that goes for every player, let alone if you are 22, 23-year-old and you come from a different league.
When you've had that run of 4 league defeats in the row, and obviously the voices and around you you're hearing negative things about your side, and maybe players aren't settling, and we hear that obviously Virgil kind of told us about coming together as a team after the Manchester United defeat. How did you deal with that as a manager who last year seemed to have everything going your way and almost a seamless season?
It's clear that it's nicer if you win games than if you lose games as a manager. Am I right? Or no, life as a manager, if you lose, is not the best thing you can have, because it just takes all of your time because you want so badly to change it. But you also try to be the same person and the same manager as you are when you are winning. So I did the same, told them that with our set piece balance, it's very hard to win a game of football. Open play chance creation has been throughout the whole season really good, except for the Villa game, by the way, which we won. So try to tell them what's actually happening instead of all the noise around it, because everyone has an opinion, sometimes right, sometimes wrong. And the thing I can only do is try to tell them my opinion, and hoping that opinion is strong enough for them to believe me. Yeah.
So briefly, are you through it? Are you through the wobble? Is Liverpool back?
Sunday is another game coming up against a very strong team. We've lost too many points in the Premier League, but in the Champions League we're doing well. Or maybe I should say the only team that hasn't lost points in the Premier League is Arsenal, and the only time they lost, by the way, was against us. So they've been outstanding this season, and the rest is nonetheless the same. But we need to do better, and that's what we're going to try. But a lot of games still coming up for us to show.
Okay, that was a balanced answer. Thank you very much. Good to speak to you. Thank you.
Hello, mate.
Thank you. So Liverpool feel, even though Arne Slot not quite saying it there, like they might be back on track.
Yeah, I think the last couple of performances tell you that they are. They're certainly on the right way. They're on that right track anyway. But I think what we need to remember as well as the champions, so teams are going to come and raise the game, certainly here and away from home. They're playing against the champions, and this is probably why you admire the likes of your Man United teams and Manchester City, who won the league year after year, because the year after teams are going to try that little bit more and that little bit harder to try and get a result.
I think when you are the champions and you go on a run of games where you lose 2, 3, 4 games, you expect to get criticised. You expect people to critique your performances, and that's normal. That happens. You've seen that throughout the years with all the teams who've won Premier League. So I think what we're seeing is a solidarity of the players, and clearly they've spoke about it in the dressing room. And that spurred them on. And they're a fantastic team who hit a bad run of form. They're still in a decent position in the Premier League, and now obviously in the Champions League in a really good position. So I think what we're seeing tonight was Liverpool from last season, and we haven't seen that many times. Even when they were winning games to start the season, we haven't seen that many times this season, and I'm sure this is a blueprint for them moving forward for this season.
Okay, let's shall we revisit the goal, the only goal of the game, in spite.
Well, it was a really tight game. For sure, there were moments when, especially in the second half, we have conceded too many fouls, corners, and that momentum they got the lead. And after we tried, but it was always gonna be an intense game. We have seen a very great dispute game in today, and luckily we couldn't get anything.
Would you have expected a bit more from your team offensively after you went behind?
Well, we have tried for sure. We have reached the last line, but we didn't create that many chances as expected. This could happen, but we have been in the game just as part, and with the small details that could go either way, and today has gone a Liverpool way.
Yeah, Thibaut Courtois. Do you have the best goalkeeper in Europe? Maybe the world?
For me, we have the best, and I'm really lucky that we have him, and he has made great saves today.
What did you make of Liverpool? They've had their own difficult run. What impressed you about Liverpool this evening?
Well, no, nothing new. Everything that we knew from then. Good tempo, good players, good energy at Anfield, and now it's Champions League, this group stage. Still many points to play, and we will try to be there.
Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. He got his reception. What did you make of it?
Well, it could be expected, but he was focused and he wanted to be with the team, to be part of it. So, first time.
It's out of the way now. What do you expect from him now moving forward? You want him fit, obviously, and I imagine he wants to get in your team to get not only Real success, but come back here and play for England.
Well, for sure he has big challenges for him. For sure it's new experience, step by step, but we are happy that we have him.
Thank you, Xabi.
Thank you.
So many exciting attacking players on that Real Madrid side. I think most neutrals would have liked to.
Commiserations. Did you deserve better, or did Liverpool deserve it?
I think the scoreline reflects the game. I think they slightly edged it. I think second half they probably just brought a bit more really dangerous from the set pieces. Obviously we didn't defend them too well. Thibaut kind of bailed us out a few times when they got free. I thought first half we were good, created some good openings and controlled a lot of the first half. But I think second half their momentum just took over a little bit and they edged it. So yeah, obviously reflects in the scoreline.
Is the frustration you couldn't find that attacking rhythm after they scored?
Yeah, I think obviously after they scored it felt like we wanted to try and force things a little bit too much, and probably gave the ball away too many times towards the end. That didn't really give us the momentum to create more chances, and probably gave them the chance to attack more when we were most vulnerable. So yeah, obviously things to learn. It's still really early in the season, still really early in the Champions League campaign. We were a lot worse off last year, managed to get through. So yeah, we can't let this ruin the good momentum and the good atmosphere we've been building. So yeah, we take the positives that we can, we learn from the negatives, and we keep moving on.
You made a bit of history tonight. 50 Champions League games by the age of 22. You're the quickest to do that.
Yes, good. I wish you told me before. Maybe. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it was obviously an honour to play for this club, to play in the Champions League, to play in atmospheres like that, against teams like that. I'm living the dream, so yeah, very, very grateful.
And what did you make of your good friend's return tonight? There'd been a lot of discussion about the reception he'd get. You would have heard it when he came on?
Yeah, I heard it, and obviously it's one of those things in football. I think the fans booing isn't a reflection of how they feel about him. I think more, trying to give their team the edge and try and maybe throw him off a little bit. I'm sure they're appreciative of what he done for the club, and obviously he loves the club a lot. I know that from just speaking with him, really. So yeah, it's one of those things can happen in football.
It may be good it's out of the way now, that the appreciation might come in time.
Yeah, perhaps so. I think when he won the league and last year towards the end, they gave him a good send-off from what I saw. So yeah, it's one of those things in football, and I think they were doing a fan's job, I suppose.
And for you back in England, will you be back in England next week? Do you hope? Do you expect to be selected?
It's not my call, unfortunately. I think you know whose call that is.
Yeah, but obviously you want to be part of that group and back in it.
Well, yeah, I'd love to be, but yeah, like I said, it's not my call, so I'll be waiting to see.
We shall see. Thanks for joining us, Stu.
Thank you very much, mate.
Well, that next England squad will, of course, be announced over the next few days, I think, before the weekend. So Friday, I'm just hearing. So you'd expect his name to be